Oh, hello. Just figured I'd do some form of, I don't know that it'll be a mini podcast, but hey, I ain't helping by like stretching it out, right? So I just figured, I don't know, my thought of the day or whatever, I'm not going to do a mini podcast, I'll do a podcast, but like, I have a few friends here. There's this one prayer, right? But it doesn't really come from like, church as much as like friends of Bill W, right? I have one friend who now he's doing great. He has like he works at like a help found one of those like sobriety and recovery like centers, right? And so I don't know, I just sort of know this prayer from way back, and I know full well that it is a wise prayer, far beyond just for people who might be going through like certain substance things, because it is a wise prayer, and I wanted to share it and then like just go through a little bit what like maybe I don't know. So the prayer is simple. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference, right? So that's prayer. So if you break down line by line, the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. So what can that mean? That can mean anything in your life, whether it's something you did to someone else and you have regret about it, or guilt, maybe you haven't made it right, like actively, or maybe it's like you lost a job, or you lost your temper, or a relationship, or whatever it is when life comes crashing down. Or it could just mean your situation. If there are things about your life that are, you know, you're born into or you find yourself into that are beyond, you can only control what you can control, and that's you. You can't actually control, despite, you know, if they're trying to do that, like, you know, to you back or not, like, you know, not just through manipulation, but also just like downright, like, we're elite, and if you're not in our club, you're nothing. Blah, blah, blah. It's a cult. They do the like elite cult thing. The elite Elysium, like, it's just a cult. Cell phone, kill Constitution cult, yeah, dun 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 dun. But which brings me to the next point. So accept the things you cannot change. They are like that, some of them. You can't grant me the serenity to accept certain things that I can't change. Because why do I complain about, like, why do I go through great lengths to even show you? Nah, I'm not just saying it with like, I don't know no QAnon, I know nothing, all right? I don't read that shit. And I'd be the first one to agree to nuts and inherently in on some cyber vendetta like joke, bigger picture thing, and do their little part. But with respect to Satanists, right, I saw a thing in Fox, right? They have like somewhere like to combat the Christian one with all the kids after school, like they came out with a Church of Satan like after school program or whatever, founded by like at the Temple of Satan or whatever. And of course they espouse the usual, we're atheists, we're not actually, we just, you know, blah, 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 right? But yet I can't help but notice there's the same goateed, bearded, double-horned, like, buddy about it that, like, on Twitter, when Trump got COVID before that second debate, there were, I even pointed out and took screenshots of a bunch of them, there were at least, like, 200 of those exact icons, let alone, like, other fun spells and, like, Satan shit, Satanism. Right on, like, die, Mr. Trump, we put a curse on you, and that's why you might die. They just throw, like, crap at everything and see what sticks and take credit for it. Like, but they are nuts, and I seem to know, like, there is a group around about it. If you want to find the, like, counterparts to the, like, there's, like, two kids who go or whatever and color their hair or whatever instead. If you want to find the counterparts, well, look no further than the, like, Christian one right across it, because they need a foil, and then, like, they all keep their traps shut. You know, like, how's a Satanist any different, right? You're so virtuous or whatever, right? Wait a minute. They don't notice that they hide in the dark, and, like, they already did that club. They have an online club for that. They're very discreet, and sometimes they even use, like, church or whatever, like, but, like, you know, the ones labeled as, like, you know, nice people church or whatever. They'll double dip. But, you know, they've got their own thing, and no one knows about it, right? But yet they're so brazen with stuff like that, and it's the exact same. It's the exact, like, you're a cult. All right? You're like the occult wing of, like, 33 Club cult. But, like, really, like, again, like, anyone at all should understand, like, if you just learn to, like, do the kickbacks and plundering and stuff legally this time, because they plundered so illegally, they're down by law, the courage to change the things you can. Well, again, you don't have to take shit from any of these people. We are citizens of the United States if we find ourselves, citizens of the United States in this country. And like I said, even the people here not legally have every right to, wait a minute, these people are nuts. Some of you are doing the best you possibly can to be good citizens in this situation, and don't like this, like, I don't know, whatever, never ending, they don't say a word about what happens to those people at the border or where they go, or like whether some are treated well and some nah. And so, like, whatever the heck's going on in there, we would want to look into it. I don't think you love socialism as much as, like, the American Harvard grad, for some reason. But they really like it, I think they read how, like, the upper echelon people can, like, have everything, right? I don't think you want the cash, right? But at any rate, right? And then one day, boom, we either outlaw it in country, we can do that, no more crypto, or we also just ship, now we have it, and the other stuff. Whatever they're fixing to do, they are, like, mean like that. There is a club, and so serenity to accept, like, I seem to show you, like, certain people, no, I'm telling you, like, I try to, like, my best to, like, please don't do it. I will not keep my trap shut. Just because you keep your trap shut, I mean, whether we're atheist or theist alike, there is a club of people who, like, worship themselves in their little club, and how, like, two-faced and pathological they could possibly be to infiltrate and then be mean in the name of Satan. Even though I don't believe in an actual Satan, that's bullshit. The theist in me understands. I'm telling you, I know somebody, that's not true. No, they do like demons. They're around about it, and whatever it is, like, you're not gonna charm the snake, all right? They don't mix well, all right? It is like, but you don't have to, like, I'm saying with the state matter, whether they're inner demons or not, there is a club, well, they don't, like, seem to notice that all the ways they're, like, brazen but don't make the news, and it's just a shame that, like, whether them or their counterparts, who most of them don't do that outwardly, like, all the time, maybe just on a separate account or whatever, right? But, like, they're productive atheists or theists, member of society. And it's a mixed bag, and they like to do the pick a side. Which brings me to the last point, and the wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom. Well, James said something, brother of Jesus, about how to get wisdom. Jesus talked about wisdom, right? You should get it from God, right? The only, like, we don't want to train invisible dragons and, like, start teaching kids then or whatever, right? Like, in the shadows to be Merlin about it, when that's not what it is. And you also don't want to be fake Christian in the shadows and, like, you'll give them peace, when, like, you espouse keeping your trap shut and this is good with the signs and wonders of, like, that's weird, man. Don't do that. Well, that's not what that is, all right? You're not a god, you're infirmed, and you don't particularly like it, right? While smiling all the ways, like, certain ways you can empathize, but then if you, like, prod a little or, like, try and point out how they're not perfect, it's like they just, like, they don't, I don't know, there's stuff about it, you can detect traits, but I mean, really, like, think about it, courage to change the things you can. If capitalism and free speech, you don't have free market capitalism without a free country, so by definition, you don't, along with free thought, and being yourselves on TV in public, and saying what's on your mind, and meaning what you say, because you have no reason not to, you have no allegiance to some, like, keep your trap shut, well, you're out of the club, and we don't do business yet. Like, you don't want to do that. That strikes me as just don't do that. That's not long for, and you see, like I said, some of these leaders, like, they've got the same playbook, the same idiot writing the scripted reality for them, and they'll just go to it, yes, all right, now we go to DEFCON 5 or whatever, yes, and then we declare emergency, and the truckers are very dangerous, and give me the crypto, yeah? Like, dude, I'm just saying, like, you know, because from that guy's point of view, he's got to try. I mean, like, he's sensationalizing it when that's provably not what that is. I mean, wait a minute. It's the same imminent threat, like the way, like, I must have been to my nephew, right? Or Brittany must have been to anyone at all. When some of these people say that, and then, like, they get you out of the way, and all the ways, like, they try, like, and they don't. I don't know. They're just happy to be two-faced, stringing along, and then, just shut up, let me put the pillow over, come on. So, anyway, we don't need that. With free market capitalism back, you'll find less roadblocks in your way. You can just, like, you don't have to lean on, like, government to do everything, even charitable or productive. If you want something, it's way better than socialism. It's free market. You can just, I mean, first of all, how you pay your employees is completely up to you. Whether they have a percentage or not is completely up to the company. Capitalism can do that just the same as, like, socialism. Socialism doesn't do that. They give it to the state, stupid. Sort of like communism. That has nothing to do with when you work at Walmart, you don't get a piece of the, like, it's not how it works once. They're wrong and lying about it, number one. Number two, in order to facilitate that, you could easily, but even just bigger picture in terms of, there's less roadblocks in your way. So even though, like, red tape right now, they have to, like, cover for the club, and they're doing such schemes that, like, the second that, you know, things work efficiently, same with Congress. They could just all bow out, you know, we all agree we're not going to run again, and, like, see ya. And, you know, help while they can or whatever, and because they did something, just agree to do that, something peaceful like that, because are you kidding me? And, like, you know, in return, like, the next generation, you know, people who would begrudgingly be, like, 30, 35 years old, just, but, quite, like, this is how it works. They've had freedom for, I mean, when you have free speech and you understand that, like, they are exposing some, like, mean thing that, like, the American was told they had to, like, bear a burden for some no good particular reason at all for Harry Potter Club, you know, Harry Potter Club, right? We don't do that, and then we talk about that, and you should just apologize, and then all the ways, again, like, whatever you would want to do, if you need to, whatever you would set out to do, like, I don't know. Right now, you're not able to do that, even a little, let alone, like, banks seem to be mean about it, and things seem to be mean about it, and they're really pushing, well, like, we've got this scrapped again with the Bitcoin, and the other thing, like, whatever it is, this thing, you can't, if you are untrustworthy, people will not trust you. I already know these people are completely untrustworthy, even you seem to brag about how despicably, like, not trustworthy. So, but man, I mean, that's like so like 2010s, you know what I mean? That's so last decade with the like two-faced Joker Club. Like, you would want to be a little upright because you stand to gain long term. They do not, and they can't replace ranks with like just as liable people, because there's only one generation of grown-ups that facilitated, you know, the digital like tech collusion, like now the companies are so like blah 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 and above the blah 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 and above the blah blah blah, when not once you just pretend like that because you really think long term with money, like the companies or whatever like they bribe you. Just for bribe you can plunder. Like I said, some of these like these pharmaceuticals, the TIN numbers or whatever, you could work make same paycheck, but like honestly, that's the only one where I would be like pro. So like, you want a good chunk of change for something, the Fed should have that, and then that way they manage it and they like get the FDA under control, make more drugs here, so you don't. But also like, wait a minute, like, and then right, like 80% of every year's like income or whatever, Jenna has to go back towards like healthcare at least or whatever, you know, to aid towards like free or like whatever you could do to help. I mean, geez, even if like, you know, you get like 4 free doctor visits, first 4 on Uncle Sam's pay plan, regardless of like, I mean, you could do anything you want as like interim stepping stone to help. You could work. There's so many ways to do it, even though it is a complicated issue, that particular one, healthcare. But like, I mean, healthcare.gov seems to work all right if you just like water it a little bit. But I don't know. You see, in terms of a public option, though, I'm not worried about the healthcare public option as much as the journalist public option and how you should take that option away from them by making it public. So it's no longer an option. We don't want an option. We want to cancel your fake shit and you have to tell truth. And what's going on with wars in the world? And what is going on with certain things? And why are you patronizing us? Why don't you know about dark web programming? What the hell's your problem? You can't report on what, like, you're above the law, you don't know about these nuts? Or any of this crazy stuff? When, like I said, look no further. You want the competition in the church to say, you look at the same people running the Christian one. And I know it's sad because they do not espouse. I'm not trying to listen. God was madder at them than the Satanist church. I assure you. You could point that out because he says so for himself. If you're champion keep your trap shut and we don't have to help immediately and we just pretend everything's okay and stick to a plan, God's plan or whatever, remember, or Ark's plan or Orf's plan, or how about Alf's plan or whatever, Arf's plan, right? We don't. That ain't Groot, all right? But whatever, I'm just saying, listen, God bless, have a good day, and again, I'll make it a 17-minute podcast. Yeah. Okay. So again, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And in the state matter, hallelujah, we can change. They're down by law. Use wisdom and truth. You're not allowed to use truth. That'd be cheating. We cheated everybody to get ahead, so that'd be cheating, for kids or whatever, or the good people. We don't want freedom. If you do that, we'll have to act like we know about it, because it's all of course we know about it. But, pal, that's too bad. Oh, wow, that's not fair. You'll say that's not fair. That'd be more than fair. Wait a minute. Go back to, you looked all right before, but like I said, mommy's not all right. Daddy's not, they just look a little all right. They're not, they looked all right before, but see, then they joined a club of wealth, and I think if the fur proves anything at all, it's that it can rot when you put the bugs, you know what I mean, and it's comical, maybe. That's not funny once, all right? Hey, God bless America. God bless you and me, right? But especially you, you don't but you don't want to. You built the wall. We don't build wall. All right. Please be a little bit we need actual adult in room, not fake pretend all the glory to them grown up. All right. Someone just do something honest and legit. All right. Bye-bye.